Hey guys, it's Paul and Rey with the No Color Thick Skin podcast. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we've got an awesome episode 13. Ready for you guys. We got a bunch of exciting topics to get into. And as always, we like to check in with each other before each episode, talking about our weeks. Rey, how was your week?
Oh, it's been a pretty good week for me. I had a leadership conference that I attended down in Austin. So the Texas Funeral Directors Association had a leadership conference where different committee members in the state of Texas, we got together and we planned a few things for the upcoming year. This was my first time being a part of leadership, so it was pretty rewarding to be there with a lot of like-minded individuals who share the same love that I have. And we had a great time. We bounced ideas off of each other and just had a nice time. I was there Sunday to Wednesday. As I was leaving, I wanted to, I don't visit Austin that often. So I wanted to just kind of see the area. So I wanted to pass by
exploring
just a little bit, just a little bit. So I passed by Joe Rogan's club. So the comedy mothership, it was nice.
That's cool.
And as I was leaving, I was like, let me just see if I can see where Franklin's barbecue is, right? So I was like, I know that the line is going to be crazy because you see all the documentaries, you see
documentaries.
You've never seen
this place? No, yeah. I mean,
I thought you were
renowned.
I was going to say,
yes.
He has a master class, all that. So they're amazing. And the lines are hours long, days in and days out. So as I was leaving the comedy mothership, passing by, I put the address in, I passed the restaurant, and I'm looking and I'm like, that line isn't that long. So I said, okay, I have a little bit of time. So I hard left and parked, and I got out, and it's narrow over there. I mean, it's in a neighborhood, and the streets are pretty narrow. So I found a parking spot, got out, got in line. I think I was in line maybe 30, 40 minutes. And when I tell you, these people know how to cook some brisket.
Dude.
Hey, yo, that was some of the best brisket I've ever had in my life. I got a couple of slices of brisket, some ribs, and a sandwich, and it all was amazing. So that was what I did. I got back to work on Thursday, just closed out the week, just a little paperwork, and that was about it. That was my my week this week. So yeah, man. What about yourself?
Kids started school as well, right?
Kids did start school. Yeah. So my daughter is out in Dallas area, and my son is here more in the suburbs. So I was able to navigate getting to both of their schools. First day, it was great. I promised them that I didn't care what I had to do was going to happen.
That was a lot.
So I got up early and I met my daughter, and I got to see her. She was excited, just so happy to start school, and I was able to just hug on her, love on her, and get her to her first day, and hightailed back to the suburbs out here, and was able to see my son go into school at his middle school.
So cool.
Which was great, and just let him walk in, and he's getting a little older now, so first year of middle school, and he took it like a champ. Just a strong guy, so he's very mentally strong and a great kid. So it was great to see them, and they've had a great week. I've talked to them. The teachers they have nothing but good reports, and I think that's the best thing when you have kids that the teachers tell you how great they are. That's always
awesome.
Always rewarding. So yeah, man, that was good.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So that's a lot. That's a long distance, and but Superman Rey over here definitely got it done.
Hey, we do it glad.
Yeah.
With a smile on the face. Mm-hmm. So no problem.
The dads, man, that's
real dads.
Real dads
to,
right there.
To the real dads.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hey,
you're one of them. No,
awesome.
You one of them.
Awesome.
You one of them.
Well, I think I took the kids on their first day back.
Mm-hmm.
No, I took Harrison, and my son, he went back to daycare that day. But as far as my week went, my week was good, and just working and not didn't go to any Franklin's or anything like that.
I'm sorry.
Didn't have my world changed because of barbecue
Hey,
experiences, but
man.
not everybody can be Ray.
Hey,
I get that.
We'll get there.
That's okay.
No, man. We'll go together
No.
at some point in time. Man,
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. All right, you're not gonna do this to me right now.
No, don't feel bad, man. That is really good barbecue.
Yeah, it's great.
I think I have actually watched at least one documentary over it.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Anyways, so week was good. Kids are back in school.
Mm-hmm.
My daughters were really excited to go back to school. My son's in daycare still, so he's been in school kind of like this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
There is no break. So that's but he likes it. He's kind of he likes to take his backpack to school, like his older sisters do, and stuff like that. Anyway. But everybody was excited to go back to school and see all their friends and stuff like that.
Great.
Really excited. They're like, Mom and Dad, y'all are not as cool as we thought.
Yeah. We lose cool points, I think,
every summer.
Every summer there's just a notch down.
Doggone it, man.
That's just the world we're in right now, man. We gotta just accept it. Don't try to fight it, man. Don't try to fight it. Don't try to keep being cool. Just embrace it.
Yeah,
we washed, baby.
That's and you know what? We're gonna be cool later.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. All right. Hey, whatever works for you.
I think we will. I think my parents are pretty cool nowadays.
Yeah, you're right. It is different. It is different now with the way we used to look at 40 and 50 when we were younger. It was like whoa, because the people at that time, at that age, they weren't taking care of themselves, and we didn't know all the great things that we know now about taking care of ourselves and doing the things that we can do to take preventative measures to going down a bad path and having all that inflammation and all that sugar diabetes. And
now we got the inflammation information.
Boy, hey.
We need to make that a website. Can we do a website?
Information.
Oh my gosh. Don't take this.
GoDaddy.com. Can we get some licenses on that?
Oh, somebody just bought domains from Google. Oh crap.
Oh man.
Let's go to GoDaddy. Let's see if GoDaddy has it.
They want to do the information.com, or would it be dot?
Oh, it's got to be
or it. It
could be an organization.
Inflammation.com. .org.
Information.
No
way.
Hey, we gotta get it.
That domain's taken. .com's taken.
I told you .org. Is the .org? So the next to the side there.
That one says
information.
Oh, it is .org.
Yeah, right here next to it. I told you we just have to.
Let's see what this is.
To see
guys, we're totally sidetracked on this. Okay, if this is they just bought it.
They just
That's
bought
it.
Not doing anything with it. Yeah.
Dang, dude. Okay, well somebody beat us to that one.
Let's see if we can send them some TIFF treats or some Cookie Society cookies and see if we could get that off them. So
he's only selling it for $69. Anyways, yes. Hard left.
Hey, go on the journey with us, all right?
So, just so y'all know, inflammation information is definitely .com is taken.
Yeah, but we're gonna look into it.
But
right.
yeah,
we'll report back. All right.
I was gonna say patent pending, but that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So yeah, man.
So kids start school.
Yeah.
Guys, we got some pretty interesting topics here today, and a lot of it is like current events.
Yeah.
And one of those is about some surfers that have you ever surfed?
No.
No?
I have not.
Okay, but you swam in the ocean.
No, Paul.
Not once? That's a no.
Fornication, no. Fornication, no. I have not swam
Lord.
in a deep body of water. I have not.
Okay.
And I shall not
And he shall
be
not.
swimming in a deep body.
Thee shall not, and thy shall not.
Thou shalt not
In
in
thine
thine
ocean.
fluideth natureth. It ain't happening. All right.
Okay.
It ain't happening, man.
We're going to talk more about this here in a minute.
That's yeah. So no.
So, tell us about these surfers.
So I guess it was a group of people from Australia, I believe, and they were
Sounds right.
on boats. There was two groups. They're on a boat. So there were two boats, from my understanding, because the information is kind of vague. Two boats, and they were going out to this island that, you can catch some great waves.
Hang 10.
Wow.
What you do?
Cowabunga. No, not Cowabunga.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga. No. Well, that's hey, man,
Cowabunga.
whatever. So they're going to go catch the water, whatever you said. And
Catch the
so
water.
listen, let me tell the story.
We know a lot about those guys.
So
Right.
they're trying to go out to this secluded island, and some bad weather approaches. As the bad weather approaches, one of the boats decided, hey, we're good. We're going to go and stop over here. The boat that had the 7 other individuals said, no,
Not smart.
about that action. We're going to push through the storm, and we're going to continue on to the island. So their boat tumbles and flips over. All 7 of them are out of the boat, and they are in the ocean for 38 hours, I believe, from what it said.
Way too long.
That's too much, man. That's too
Way
much.
too long.
So they're on their surfboards, just wading in the water for 38 hours, and then all of a sudden, they get rescued. Unfortunately, one of the other individuals still hasn't been found, but 6 of them for sure have been rescued. And for me, that would be, I guess, top 3 biggest fears, to be in just a deep body of water, and when it's dark out there,
I didn't think about that either.
see, you not think save some sand,
Dude.
if you're in this
Holy
large body of
macaroni.
water and
Oh.
it gets dark, you don't know where you are, where you're going. You
And
can't
it's storming.
see anything. Storms are still around there.
Oh my gosh.
No, I would. No, there's no way. But somehow they stuck together.
By the grace of God.
They stuck together and they were rescued. So
I don't get
that's top 3. One of my fears. And I always hear people talk about, what are you more afraid of? Are you more afraid of, or what are you more concerned about, or what do you put your time in, where it's knowing about what's in that water, or what's out of space? What's out in space, like the aliens. We got so much talk about aliens going on right now, and the guy that was that was talking to the senators and all the information he was trying to share.
Yep.
That sounds cool, but for me, y'all know I'm solutions based. So it's like, hey, I need you to show me something, partner. Like, you talking all this talk, but I'm just not seeing anything. And galaxies and galaxies away. Okay, are we the only life form? I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. But what I do know is stuff in that water that's been pulled out that we've seen. Crazy.
Yeah.
You get these whales, you get these things that eat whales, you get the octopus that,
Dude, the water is scary itself.
The water itself is insane, man. It's insane. So I don't know, Paul. So on your you want them smart boys. You
Know it all.
You paid attention in science class, baby. I was just trying to make do. So how do you feel, about, I guess, outer space versus, deep bodies of water in the ocean, things that may be out there in space versus what we know that's in the water? Like, what do you feel?
Wow. Well, we have so much water on Earth that if you flattened out all the mountains, water would the entire surface of our planet would be covered with water. That's how much water we got on it. And it's not that much in reality, but the entire Earth would be covered in water if it was actually flat.
If we flatten out all the mountains, all
Yep.
the hilly areas, everything up north, because we know that all that the land is there, flatten it out, and everything's going to be underwater.
The
That's what
whole
you're saying.
place. Everything.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's wild.
There's a little science fact for you.
Thank you.
But
you enlighten me.
just put that in the back of your head for no good reason. Useless knowledge. Yeah. Oh, dude, we'll put that in the video.
Thank you, Paul.
We'll put that in the video. More you know. So, okay, the ocean is dark and deep and full of many atmospheres of pressure, which is why we can't explore our oceans like we explore outer space. Mm-hmm. I forget how many atmospheres, an atmosphere is like, the way I'm using that word is like the measurement of how much pressure is in, square foot or whatever. And these guys, they didn't, when they they paid their $250,000 to get into a cylindrical balloon that goes down into the deep depths of our ocean.
Honda Civic.
Honda Civic at best. Oh my gosh.
No disrespect to Honda.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Put out a great product.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But man, yeah, maybe not even that. This is real. It's like an Opal or something.
Very janky. Just janky. For no
yeah.
reason.
Anyways, so I want to say that they were in 400 atmospheres, which is, it's such. Like if you go down to the bottom of the ocean, and you like for example that submarine exploded, well it imploded, which means that it's such a strong, powerful what do you call it? Such a powerful pressure that it literally like boils. It will when the things equalize. Unfortunately, I think the people's bodies boiled because it was such a strong force pushing their, the matter of their body together. That's crazy sauce. But that is how dangerous and all that stuff the ocean is. Whereas the outer space is it's less atmospheres. But I think the thing is, if you went into outer space and somehow you made it into, you found yourself in the outside of a shuttle, and you didn't have a spacesuit on, you could survive for like a couple of seconds or something like that. You wouldn't completely implode, especially if you let all the oxygen out of your lungs. If you do that, like we saw with the submarine, it just goes poof
out of there.
Yeah,
going bye-bye.
Yep, pancake. Yeah. So there's that. But, the stuff that comes out of the ocean is just, so the ocean is vast. Personally, I believe that, maybe there could be aliens. I don't know. I think that's cool. I think we should have, people looking into it, for the sake of our planet and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But, there are creatures in the depths of our oceans that are just insanely huge, and I want to say that the number was like 90% of our oceans has not been explored yet.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
it's a high number that we haven't even seen. Yeah, and it's like, we see the things that they pull out, and those things are pretty crazy. So what else is down there that's living, under all that pressure and surviving? Like, it's a lot. So like I said, for me, I get it, do the research with trying to find them aliens. Okay, find aliens. I mean, yeah, we got some additional life form out there. Okay, figure it out. But I need to see something. All right. You gotta show me something.
I see a crashed alien craft.
Show me something, man. Put somebody, on Facebook Live, man. Put one of them aliens out there. Make sure alien do a TikTok dance. Show me something, man. I want to see. I need to see an alien out here doing something, man.
TikTok dance. Yeah. Oh, you know what?
I don't.
He knows one.
I just speak.
We'll come back with some TikTok dances.
So another thing that that was kind of a topic of discussion that I wanted to pick your brain about was in New Jersey. There was a Catholic school that fired one of their teachers back in 2014. The teacher was pregnant at the time. She was not married. And the school fired her because she had premarital relations, and that went against the code of ethics for the school. And she sued the school, and it's been going on, like I said, since 2014. So it's made its way to the Supreme Court, and we got the ruling this week that the Supreme Court said, "Hey, y'all. The school was well within their right to fire you. There was no discrimination there. They didn't do anything wrong. So, you lose this case." And it's one of those things to where we've talked about school systems. We've talked about education. We've talked about the people that we want in our children's lives. And we would hope that they had, morals and higher standards because we want our children. Come on, man, hold it together. We want our children to, model the positive behavior of those that they interact with the most, right?
Yeah.
So it's, teachers are very, very important for that. Leadership in school systems, they're very important in that nature and that job that they hold. So is someone having, relations before marriage, does that negate all of the great things maybe that that individual could provide to kids and helping them? So it's just one of those situations where it's like, hey, what do you do? We know what the law, quote unquote, is, but man, that's a tough one, right?
That is tough. That's
a tough one.
I mean, wow. And if it's not, hey, I'm pregnant, and I don't know. Like, the thing is, I know that people that work in school systems, they most of them are pretty tight knit. So you end up knowing a lot about these people. You're spending a lot of time with them, probably more than your spouse, and I think that people. No, okay. Listen here, guys. This is just my opinion. Okay, but I do think that if you're held to a certain standard by your company or organization or whatever you want to call it that you work for, in this situation, it happened to be a private school. That's a Catholic school. It's a religious school, and you kind of go in there with the assumption like, hey, I kind of got to practice what I preach if I'm going to be working here. Yeah, it's going to have to be, their way, and their way is supposed to be your way, and their way is not getting pregnant before you're married, or not having relations, sexual relations before you're married. And that's something that they hold in, a lot of Christian schools hold in kind of high regard. That's probably one of the most difficult things to do as a person is hold yourself pure until you're married. And, I salute people that are able to do that. I wasn't able to do that. You know,
You were?
I wasn't able to do that.
Oh, wow.
Yep. But I definitely don't. I ask for forgiveness for it, and you live and you learn. But that would be a good conversation of like, is it better to do this versus that with that thing?
And I was gonna. That was one thing I was just gonna ask you just on this. So let's say hypothetically, this young lady, who was pregnant at that time, was with her boyfriend, and this was boyfriend she's been with for a few years, and this boyfriend, they had this child, and then they end up getting married, and they're married now. This is the only person that she's been with the entire time, versus Susie that's in the front office, who is very friendly with all the other men's, and she's friendly with a lot of the men's, and people know that Susan is friendly with a lot of the men's. Can't necessarily prove it, but we know because we know. So it's like, well, you continue to allow Susie to be there because, quote unquote, she's not pregnant and she's doing what it is that she does. But this young lady who, I don't know, I don't want to say that the child is a mistake, but maybe had a slip up, maybe had a moment in time or whatever, and that happened. She married that gentleman. They have a great family. It's only been the two of them in their relationship. That's a tough one to have as well. It's like, who's right, who's wrong, who's the one you would prefer to be a part of your organization. So I agree when it comes to who you work for and what it is that you do. If you work for someone, just like in the NFL or in the NBA, and you get in trouble, it may not be 100% against the law, but if they say that this action that you did was conduct detrimental to the team, we got to suspend you, we got to do X, Y, Z. So, I get it. So you said, just conduct and your actions and how your actions play a huge part in the life that you live, which is something that's going on with, I can call her one of my high school crushes, someone who came on the scene, and I think she pretty much took the world by storm and was just amazing vocalist and entertainer and just great. Our girl Brittany is kind of she's going through a few things, and she's getting a divorce from what the tabloids are saying right now. Brittany's had a rough couple of years, and for a lot of years there were people who were for that conservatorship that her father had over her. There were a huge amount of individuals who were against it. And clearly, this isn't something to be funny at this moment, but clearly her father knew something. Her father knew a lot of somethings that we, the general public, just did not know. You see her on Instagram, she'll put videos out of her singing and dancing, and if you look in her eyes as she's doing these things, if you can look in her eyes and watch her and listen to her and feel that she is okay, I think you may need to reevaluate the way you think about certain things, because it looks like she is in a completely different world. So for that, the conservatorship was taken away. Her father said, y'all, this is a big mistake, but you know what? If that's what she wants, she can do that. She ends up marrying this gentleman, and now they're getting a divorce. So the guy is blaming her for a lot of different things that she's done. She isn't really speaking out about the matter right now. So I think it's going to get ugly, unfortunately. It's a prenup. He wants to do something different with the prenup.
Oh, really?
Want some alterations made, some adjustments made, and things of that nature. Goodness. So it's a tough one, man, because maybe her father was right this entire time, and what he was trying to do as far as protect his baby girl and be there for her and And a lot of people just thought that he was being mean.
How strange would that be? How strange would that be?
How strange would that be, man? That this whole time that he had such a grip on her just to try to keep her on the straight and narrow, that he knew that if she got so much freedom that her life would just go down a path that he didn't want her to. So that's tough, man.
That is tough. That is tough. But I mean, her compared to the teacher thing, that's interesting. That's pretty interesting, but very different situations. But you were talking about conservatorships. It reminded me, I forget the guy's name, pardon me, but the guy that the movie Blindside was based off of.
Michael Orr.
That's it.
Michael Orr, yes. Ole Miss defense offensive lineman who went to the NFL because of the Thule. Was it Thule?
Thule's,
yeah. The Thule, Sandra Bullock.
Yeah. Great movie. Probably one of my favorite, probably top 10 favorite movies ever.
It's a really great movie.
Really, really good.
Great
great acting.
Great story.
Great story.
All around, really great movie.
It's like a Green Mile story, almost.
Yeah.
A
lot of feels, a lot of ups and downs. You felt a lot of different emotions watching that.
I didn't know this, but the Thule's had a conservatorship over Michael and did not actually adopt him. We found out recently.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
So
and they made lots of money, apparently.
Man. So, this is this is one of those situations where the question is, how do we get here? I'm serious, man. Like the question is, how do we get here?
Yeah.
These people were praised for
100%.
But not having any concerns for adopting this child, bringing this child into their lives, showing him a different way of living.
Yep.
And the whole time he wasn't adopted, and it was a conservatorship, and then y'all sold the rights to this, and then y'all making money off of this, and now it's like,
yes,
whoa, like this is pretty intense. And another instance, and I don't like to be the victim shaming type of individual. I'm not that, but why did Michael Orr wait so long to put this out there? Like I'm not sure, did he just find this out? Was this something that was told to him, or would he?
I would be just thankful that I was in the NFL and making millions of dollars, maybe. But at the same time, like that's where I go in my head. But at the same time, you probably have a bunch of people in your ear going, "Hey, man, I don't think you're part of the family like you think you are." And it's like, "No, man, no, I'm like we're brother and sister. These are my parents. And then they're like, "Actually, it shows right here that you have no familial ties to these people at all." Nothing legal, nothing contractual. They have conservatorship over you. That would really hurt. I mean,
that's nasty. That's nasty.
I mean, I don't know the intentions of what, maybe it was, I don't know. I know that the Thule's had some kind of money from somewhere.
Yeah, I think they had a few restaurants or franchises, like some KFCs and the whole KFC Taco Bell, root beer, whatever the spot is, A&W's type of deal. So they had a bunch of those. And what I think happened was that the money that they made off of, I guess, the selling of the story, they were able to reinvest into more. So they now are generating generational wealth.
Uh-huh. Because of him,
and he's not even a part of
that. Guys.
That's disgusting. That's nasty, man.
What's the matter with y'all?
That's bad. So
what's the matter with y'all?
I hope that at some point in time that they come out and say something. really have a conversation. And, like I said, I don't know what Michael knew, but he did not know how he feels right now. What if, like you said, he goes off to, he went to Ole Miss. So he's going off to Ole Miss. He's coming back home during the holidays, having Christmas and this, and goes to the NFL draft, and they're there. And so he's bought a house, and then he's helping them out, and then just living life and going back home. And then all of a sudden you find out that, hey, these people who you've spent all this time with, told your deepest, darkest secrets to, people who you thought were a part of your tree of trust, actually betrayed you to the nth degree.
I'm one of those that's like the eternal optimist, and it's really bit me in the butt. And I would say on this, it's just, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And dang it, I don't need these guys to not be, whatever, to feel good about, the relationships that I have in my life. But doggone it, that was a great movie.
It was great.
And a great story. And you just hope that it was real,
Yeah, and then some people are on the internet trying to say they have to take Sandra Bullock's Oscar away. And
give me a break.
No, Sandra.
She won that
shizzle. She won that big time. That's hers. Y'all get off it.
Yeah.
All right. Leave her alone.
Cut it out.
She won. So, on that is as far as things that, can happen in our lives, things that things that we don't know at the moment what's happening, what's going on. That I'm sure Michael finding out that was a huge pivot for him, and that is going to change the trajectory of his life as far as where his life is headed now. I'm sure it's going to take a lot for him to recover mentally and just to get into a good place.
It did then, and it did now.
Then that was a huge pivot when they came into his life, and now this is an additional huge pivot that's going to, that can either go one direction or the other. Hopefully it goes
I'm hoping
in a positive direction. So,
yeah.
I was thinking, Paul, just, in your life, were there some situations, some things that happened at the time to where you didn't know exactly where they were going to go, how they were going to go, like a pivot in your life that was, I don't need to be so grandiose and just the greatest of this, but just a pivot or two or a couple of things that just happened in your life that you can share as far as changes the direction of where you were on. Anything you could think of?
Yeah. Well, so when I was 4, it wasn't like a decision that I made or anything. It was something that kind of just happened to me. But my mom met and then married my stepdad, who I call my dad. And that was a really big impact. I mean, we moved to Japan.
Oh yeah,
almost
right.
immediately after my stepdad and mom got married, and wow, just I mean, all good stuff. But man, that's life changing, big time. If I had stayed in California, I could have been one of those California nuts.
Well, which way? Like the crazy, I'm just going to, say everybody is bad, or would you be a surfer wave warner?
I think I would have been a surfer, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, that hair.
I feel like
you got the lock. Oh yeah.
I feel like I could have the locks.
Dude, totally.
Yeah, totally. Hang 10. That was tubular, bro.
Let's go ride the waters. What?
Oh man, for real.
Yeah.
I could have been that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, that and if I had to choose another one, I mean, there's lots, but the other one would be when I had my first kid.
Yeesh.
My wife, obviously, when she walked into my life, that changed my life. But together we produced a child, and boy, that was. I started snoring that night.
Just
For real,
like that. Huh?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And all different kinds of things.
Yeah.
It's just like a domino effect. But I'm so appreciative of making that choice. Before we had, we were fortunate in that we made the decision to have kids. It could have happened differently where we didn't, because like I said earlier, we were doing things we shouldn't have. But
Laurel's on a whole light on.
yep, for sure. And you know what? Whatever. So, but when we sat down and talked about having kids, we agreed that we would give ourselves some slack when it came to having kids earlier on, in our early 20s versus our, late 20s or early 30s, because we wanted to have more time with our kids in life. We knew we would be a little bit on the broke side for sure. Yeah. And we were, and we needed help. And we, sometimes we got it, sometimes we didn't. But we made it through, and we wouldn't have gotten here without family and without friends and God, for sure.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, those are two I would say.
So your dad coming into your life and
being a dad myself,
a huge impact in your life, and moving out to Japan. Japan, that's a huge pivot to go to Japan at 4.
Yeah.
And then we came back, and what could have been being in California is big, and you becoming a dad. So those are some pretty significant pivots.
I'd say so.
In your life, for sure. Those are.
Oh yeah.
Those are pretty big. I would say I can echo the same with the becoming a parent, finding out that I was having a son. That was a lot, and I wanted to make sure that I could do everything that I could to rewrite the things that I went through to make sure that he didn't have to go through those things. So that was very important for me. I can share with you the day that he was born. What I tell people is, you think you know love until you know love. So when they put my son in my hands for the first time, I paint the picture of, when you see a flower on the screen and they show like a time lapse of the flower opening. That's what my heart did.
Yeah.
My heart was there, and I felt my heart literally open inside of my chest. And I was like, what is going on? There was snot bubbles everywhere. All right. I was like up here. I was happy, elated. I was nervous, but just crying and snot bubbles everywhere, man. So that was a huge, huge pivot. Very thankful for that. I would say before that, moving here to Texas from Louisiana, where we're from, was a very big pivot. And I'll say that was a family pivot with my mother and my sister to come here, knowing all that we knew there and not knowing, much here, and to be able to be in the places and spaces that we're in currently. We could not write it any better than that. I mean, it was daunting at first. My mom moved out here and she had to get a second job, and she had to work a lot, work. And then she found a job that worked with her, and she did great at that organization and won many awards, and it propelled our lives into great things. So awesome. I would say that was one, and I would say my last one would be, I Deciding to go to mortuary college was tough. It was, I was working full time, and I knew I had to be a full time student, so it was going to be a lot of work. I knew that. Get through school, we graduate, and after you graduate, like I shared with you, we had to take board exams.
Yep.
We have 2 exams that we had to take: the science portion and the arts portion. The science portion, no problem. Got that knocked out, so I was able to continue on to become a licensed embalmer. And that's what I did. I failed the arts exam, so I was not able to go forward and pursue my funeral director's license at that time. So over the years, I continued to go back and take the arts exam, and I continued to fail. And I failed that arts exam 8 times.
8?
Yes, 8 times over a span of 7 years. Okay.
Dang.
Because the test was $350, right? And ain't nobody out here cycling, so
yeah.
And you can only take it at that time every 3 months or so, something like that.
That sounds right.
So that was tough, man. That was very tough to get knocked down, try to get back up, get knocked down, try to get back up. But that perseverance that I kind of share with you a lot, just that knowing that you know that this is something you're supposed to do.
Oh, yeah.
And that 9th time, I went in and I took it and I passed it. And that opened so many doors for me that has just completely changed my life. I've met so many great people. I've been exposed to so many amazing things. And if the guy who graduated mortuary college a year after that could see the guy right now and say, oh, you're at a leadership conference and you are, able to be in the same room as these individuals, that dude wouldn't believe it. Okay?
It's a big deal, dude.
That dude would not believe it, let me tell you. So those are some of the bigger, pivots in my life, and very, very, very grateful for all of them, for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's so cool to hear about your it's like your character arc, your it's like your Superman story. You know what I mean? Your pivots were like, just making it possible for you to do really big things. That's so cool about what I think is so cool about life is that you go through strange things and you just really don't understand, and then hindsight is 20/20 sometimes. And like similar to you, you moved away from everything you knew. I did that a few times.
Yeah.
And that was rough, but each time was a little bit easier, and then once things started getting nailed down, started growing some roots into where I was, it was like, oh, this is going to be where I flourish.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I get to call, maybe at the time it doesn't sound quite so confident, but it's like, there's definitely a point in my life, at least, where it was like, okay, this is where I call home. This is my hometown. This is where I grew up. Even though it was like then, it's like, this is where I grew up. I can see what my future looks like. Yeah, yeah, and that's you right there too, right?
Yeah, but like I said, that's why we have so much in common, to where you can understand.
Oh, yeah.
The things that I've gone through, and I can understand the things that you've gone through. And I think that's, like I said, that's a bond that you and we have that's, that I don't take for granted, for sure. But yeah, you've gone through so many different things that people just wouldn't be able to comprehend. A lot of people complain about moving one time. A lot of people, they get discombobulated moving once.
Yeah.
And you've done it multiple times, and multiple times in big fashions, not just, where you're going down to down south of where you used to live, and or you going a little this way. You jump continents and then jump states again, and then jumped from this city to another big city. So that's a lot, man. And I feel that you took a little bit of something from each one of those stops, and it just made you who you are. And it wasn't meant for you to just be born here in this area and just be here the entire time. That wasn't part of your story. Your story needed all of those different stops as well.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think it wouldn't be the same story had it not all happened that way.
Not even close.
Yeah, and I've heard somebody say, who said this recently, and I can't remember who said it, but they said something along the lines of, I'm grateful for the bad things that have happened in my life in order to push me to all the good things. Mm-hmm. There's a song about that, God bless the broken road that led me straight to you, Rascal Flatts.
Ooh, man,
things like this,
Think the frown is ice.
Oh, so good.
Back
to you. Yeah.
You just smile, take my
That's
hand.
it.
You've been there, you understand.
Sing it,
It's
Ray.
all part of a grand plan.
That is coming true. His runs, man.
Oh, the boy,
they are heavenly.
Boy's cool.
It's just like nothing else.
Oh yeah,
he's just like joking.
But they got hits.
Yes,
they got hits.
Big hits.
On them, but they got hits, man. They got some.
They are integrated into our society in so many ways. Have you seen him lately?
I have not.
He's a pretty cool guy. Seems like. Yeah, he's like, I just want to be left alone.
Hey man, let's see if we can get him on the podcast. Hey,
there you go. Hey,
Mr. Flats.
What is his name? What is
Mr.
his
Flats.
name? I saw him recently.
We think you're awesome, man.
Come on down. We want everybody on our podcast. But come on, just anybody.
Everyone's. Yeah.
We so some exciting news is we told you guys probably that we would eventually have guests on, and we are currently working on that. So if you know of somebody that we really need to talk to, let us know in the comments, and or send us a direct message or whatever you want to do, DM, in whatever kind of way you're listening to us here. But if you want to send us some mail, we're on Facebook, No Color Thick Skin Podcast. Look us up. But let us know. We've got some pretty exciting and very interesting people that we're going to have on.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Hey, look, we'll try and keep it open. There's some individuals out there who are in certain lines of entertainment who who've reached out, and we have to play things safe in the beginning. But please know we see you. We know who you are.
We know who you are.
We're considering it. We'll get to you. Okay, we'll get to you. It's,
maybe
people they're stars, and then what is it? Corn.
Yeah.
Corn and then stars type of people. Anywho,
yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Nobody knows.
There's some of these. So we gotta. We are definitely gonna do that, and we are so excited about it. It'll add a new dynamic to our talk show, and we got all the questions. We got all the questions for these guys, and we're super excited. And also, if you guys are interested in talking to us about, hey, we really think that you should talk about X, Y, and Z, let us know. Up until the last couple of episodes, we've really been specific on what we're talking about. On not doing current events. We're doing kind of like very specific one thing topics, and we'll continue to do those as we go on. But we really like this kind of free form thing too.
You get more of a perspective on, who we are still. We can talk about certain different things, and a lot of things we will agree on, and a lot of things we may disagree on, and that's fine. But even if we agree on something, your perspective on it can be something I didn't even think about, and which has happened a few times, and I think that's good. I don't like when you may feel that you just have to go against something that I said just for content or whatever. That's not what we do.
We might do that though.
Skip and Shan and just being against each other. No, we're not gonna do that. I won't.
No, Dr. Pepper's better.
No, it's trash. Mr. Pip is actually a.
Oh man,
get it together. So we have some great things in the works, and we really, really appreciate each and every last one of you guys. Like I said, going on this journey with us. We feel very comfortable in the space that we're in. We just want to continue to grow and be better. Like I said, we're not here to change the world. We're just here to start conversations, get people thinking, and get you to go to a place to where you're comfortable being uncomfortable around certain people. So that's the goal. That's the goal.
That's a wrap, buddy.
Is it a wrap?
I think it's a wrap. Thank you guys so much. Once again, this is episode 13. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.